Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chat It Up Wednesday. I'm Donna Failer, and can you believe how chilly it is becoming in the morning? I can't get over it. I don't know if I'm ready for this fall. I mean, it's one of my favorite times of the year. Just the crispness, the mornings, the leaves changing, the colors, and just the pumpkin smells. I've already started my pumpkin flavor coffee and just some spice blends, and then the scents. Changing the hand soaps up to reflect fall. Even though summer isn't officially over until the end of September, um, the beginning of the month has already given us several signs that fall is coming. So, I think this time last week it was like sleeveless weather, and I'm one that as I get older, I get chillier quicker. So for me, it's harder. I don't say harder to change, but my body has a little more into adapting to change. So with that. So today on Chat It Up, and thinking about, I know last week I talked about, adapting. We've been talking about adapting to change, I think, over the last couple Chat It Ups. And it's, how do we do it, smoothly with reducing any kind of stress we could be feeling. But then at the same time, a lot of us parents, grandparents are in a virtual academy educational mode right now, and just trying to adapt to that change, helping our young ones to adapt to this kind of change. And for the most part, it's going very well. I think, though, with not having all of the tools to help, in the educational setting, which is no fault of, I want to say, really, the educators in general. It's just, we finally got our granddaughter's workbooks for her other subjects that she can start doing those as well. So for most part, everything is smooth, and now comes fall. And so to help us, I thought it'd be fitting to talk a little more, because I know this morning here I am dressed in a sweatshirt, long sleeves, and I'm a little cold. Of course I have my flip-flops on, so, I refuse to give it 100% change, in that method right yet. But I did contemplate my sneakers and socks today as well. So for all of you out there that are reluctant to change, or how do we change into this season, just helping our body adapt quickly to it, because to go from 80 humid to 60, high 60s, low 70s, with more rain and just, I would say cloudier skies, it has become, and different weather everywhere. So in looking at that, I'm going to share some of my top 9 tips of what I have put in place and what I'm trying to do to fall into this beautiful season just a little easier. So one of the first things I enjoy and I'm looking to do, one is to continue to exercise. Exercise, you can never go wrong. I like to walk. So for me, walking, I walk in place a lot. There is a lady that I follow who does the walking in place to music and all that. So when the weather really does get bad, I actually will do it indoors and get my steps in. But for me, I'm more of a walker than a runner, or lifting weights, things like that. But everybody has their exercise mode that they use. So with that, I recommend that to keep exercising, whatever format you're doing. Another one, eat seasonal foods. Seasonal foods, I enjoy around this time of the year, the pumpkin, I don't want to say pumpkin pies, but pumpkin different things that we put in. We squash, more things like that. But eating foods in season, it's easier on the wallet. I mean, there's a lot of times I buy out of season fruit and vegetables, and they go bad. They go bad till I use them, because I'm already moving into this next type of season. The seasonal fruits and vegetables have more nutrients than out of season's foods, which I didn't realize because they've been stored for less time. So it's pretty much, you want to try to get all of our, nutrients and minerals that our body needs in order to, continue the vicious cycle of health problems from occurring. And some of, a lot of times we miss out on the nutrients, and so different ways that we do that. I actually started adding these pouches. They're in, one is pea protein and another one is kale and fiber, to help boost the proper nutrition that we need in our bodies. And I know when I'm cooking now more than ever at home, it's one of those things, how can I help pass that on to my family that my husband and my granddaughter that I cook for. And because our granddaughter is a picky eater, as well as my husband can be, it's what can I choose to help, I want to say, sneak it in there so they don't even know. There's no flavor, no taste. So it's been a win-win in my house. And I feel better, because trying to get any age to eat certain vegetables at certain times of the year, just doesn't happen in my house. And I'm sure some of you may come across that same problem. So just eating seasonal foods, to gain that nutrition. Dressing for the weather. I like I said, I stood there this morning and I gotta feel warm. I don't know about you guys, but if my hands are cold, tip of my nose is cold, or my toes are cold, my whole body is cold, and of course the extremities. But, it's one of those different things. We sit on our hands, or what do we do to warm them up? And we go as long as we can without saying goodbye to total warmth. I think we come in this denial because in Indian summer, we, waiting on our Indian summer to happen. So we still want to keep the warm clothes hanging around, because it is a little early to think about wearing winter clothes. So dressing for the weather. And again, I know in a few weeks, you're going to see some states where they're wearing jackets, and I know we try to resist this again. Just, so we wear like long sleeve tops, whatever it may be, and layers that we can peel off. That way, at least we're comfortable, because our body suffers when it's cold. Don't you agree? You could shiver. I'm just so cold today. Of course, our skin starts to dry out a little bit more, so we want to make sure we keep that moisture going. And the muscles just cool down. You never get up and you're stiff. That's just like a normal mode as we get older, or sitting too long. But it means that they're not as flexible. And of course, you guys know we don't function very well when our muscles are stiff and just aren't warmed up and raring to go. Definitely stay well hydrated. I know that I find from time to time, I know when my body is dehydrated. I drink coffee in the morning. I usually drink 2 cups. I try to watch and maintain. I come from a family where my dad had a pot of coffee on the stove all day long. It was a Sunbeam coffee maker. And, I just try to convert him into the new automated way of Keurig, or coffee makers like that, to make one pot so it's fresh. It feels, I want a good cup of coffee. And I kept trying to tell my dad, you're drinking this coffee and it tastes like it's, I don't want to say burnt, or it's just that it's been sitting around all day. But my dad just really enjoyed having cups of coffee readily available, because he just was an avid coffee drinker all year long. My mom, she drank a cup in the morning, and that was pretty much good for her. So myself is I enjoy a good cup of coffee. And again, part of the change, I'm excited because I love fall. So not the cold side of fall, but I enjoy the other things that come with fall. Just the family functions, and even in the current environment where you're in and what we're trying to do and be safe, social distancing, and just, be respectful of each other's health. It's just all the family functions that are coming up. I don't want to say football games, and things have changed there. I know the football NFL games have started. It's just all the exciting things, and just, like a bear, we hibernate, it's just an opportunity just to, I don't know, cuddle up, and I don't want to say love birds, but just, a whole bunch of neat things that we envision that happens, in the fall months. So, I always say, staying hydrated. I know when I don't have enough water. Now, I'll drink a bottle. I try to drink, the 16 ounces here, a bottle. And let me take a drink now. One, your mouth gets dry, right? And that could be just from talking. But I try to do the 16 ounces, and then that way it gives me at least 2 glasses of water at one bottle. And because I work, at a desk, and, I don't get up and move around too much. So I try to set a timer to actually drink my water, which gives me a chance to get up, because then, have to hit the restroom. But it also allows me to keep my body hydrated. It does a lot of things for us, right? It doesn't put too much pressure on the body, and it allows us to keep things functioning properly, right? It also, because, I want to say every organ functions properly, but we know what water can do for our bodies, our joints. It protects our tissues in our bodies as well. And I think the biggest thing, though, is I think coming through, the virus, and checking your temperature, and everywhere you go, if it's, medical related, things like that, they're checking your temperature, right? So having yourself hydrated, I know we could blame it on, well, I've been out in the heat all day long. We don't contribute having a temperature when we walk somewhere because we've been out working or something before an appointment. But being dehydrated also raises your temperature, right? And I learned that it also, increases your heart rate. And I remember this one time, and this is really where I really tune in more to being, knowing my body a little more, it was in the evening, and I was going to bed, and I just felt like my heart was going a mile a minute, and I'm thinking, oh my word, And so I got a hold of my one daughter, who is a registered nurse, and I said to her, and gave her some of my, I don't say my symptoms, but she says, Mom, you're probably dehydrated. She says, have you been drinking water all day? And I'm like, no, it's probably what it could be, because I felt good, so, had a health checkup, things like that. But so I went down and I drank water without interrupting other people. And that was it. So, it's definitely different signs that you can, find out if you're on your way to being dehydrated or not. But at the point being is drink your water intake. 60% of our adult bodies are made up of water. And so it's just a matter of staying dehydrated, even in the cooler temperatures like we would in the summer, because our bodies still need that. I think this one here is really important, especially in our household, making small changes to our schedule. With school back in session, different things that we change into. It could be activities that started back up. It's taking the kids, and then we feel like we don't have a lot of times for ourselves. I know I struggle, with my daily work schedule, and then I fit virtual academy in through my lunch hour, and my husband is like the mentor as well, or the teacher, and so we take turns. And But it's one of those things that, then it's dinner time, then it's this, and then it's that. And it's like, where is me time? Because I think that is so important to have a little bit of me time in your day, just to feel like, I don't want to say you're pampering yourself, but just to give you that relaxation and that clarity mode. So make small changes to your schedule. Don't do drastic things because, it creates stress. Definitely creates stress because you're not going to, accomplish them. It's, and we say, okay, I'm going to add this class on. It's fall classes are starting. I can sign up and do this. I can do that. And you're trying to juggle everything. Something is going to suffer in our daily routine, and so it's just something I really try to remind myself is have a little me time and don't overwhelm myself any more than where we're at. Take one thing of change, adapt to it, and then maybe add something else. Keeping your routine effectively the same. And what I mean by that is, people get up, they have a morning, they go to work, or before bedtime routine. We all have a routine of what we do before we go to bed. And some people are, might get up and exercise at 6 o'clock in the morning, or some might take a 30-minute walk after dinner. And when we take a slower approach to any change, it's making do with the weather. If it's raining out, we don't go out, right? We don't go out to exercise or just go outside a lot of times, especially if you don't have an umbrella. But moving into these colder months, what I do is I transition into walking a little earlier so that I get my walk in still. So I don't deprive myself of what I normally do in routine because it gets darker. I said to my husband last night, oh my gosh, it's darker at 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it used to be 9. So I did notice that last night, and besides the cold setting in on that. Another tip is wake up at the same time every day. I have to admit this is a little difficult for me because I like to sleep in on the weekend if I can. I can tell you, I do. I'm a big offender of this. I'm on my electronics at night because I'm still doing, I run a part-time business 100% online. And I, work around my lifestyle, and that's the exciting part of being an entrepreneur and having your own business. So it's one of those things that I'm on my electronics, but then a lot of times I sit back and think to myself, well, I'm on there, I'm playing my favorite games, right? It kind of gives me a wind down. If I'm not tired because I'm hyped. Some nights I get so excited about something great that's happened, within my group. And I'm just like, I can't go to sleep now. So I have to wind down and I'll do like Scrabble or, the block game, something that just relaxes my mind, to get tired, and get ready to fall asleep. So in going to bed and creating this schedule, less daylight, colder weather, as we talked about, more rain. Yeah, more rain usually. And the natural, sleep-wake cycle, can be disrupted. So when I'm trying to get up at the same time every day, Monday through Friday is a given. I work a full-time job, so I am setting my alarm to get up at the same time every day. I go through my routine, how I get ready, and that's that. On weekends, like I said, I would love to sleep in, and but I do find that if I do sleep in for like an extra hour, it kind of does throw my whole system out of whack. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. But I tend to find that. But then there's some days where my body is just saying, you're tired. And I wake up refreshed. Your body. I tell a lot of people, as I have learned a little more through in a personal adventure in losing weight, and it was a trigger effect. It's something It's a life ongoing goal that we have to be the right weight and just feel healthier. And, I can say if you really listen to what your body's telling you, it tells you, when you're not feeling good, it tells you that something isn't right. It tells you there that you need more water, more sleep, and what your body doesn't need. It's really weird. When I was eating healthier, I mean, even more healthier than I am right now. That's another thing moving into the winter months. We tend to step away from eating healthier and just eat for comfort, and just, I'm going to say, like, hibernate like a bear. But it's, I found that my body was craving certain foods that I would normally not have eaten. And and I always say, wake up the same time every day. It's a challenge sometimes because we look forward to sleeping in when we can. But, try to keep that because then, again, better mood, better immune system, everything is just like uniform. So that's just, again, the electronics really plays a havoc. I'm trying to put them down, put the, phone away. The laptop's no big deal, but it's really that phone, because it's accessible. It's easy to put into the bed with you. And it really confuses your body, too, to say, you know what? This is my sleep time, right? You're there on the phone. So when your body's trying to create, these melatonin, your sleep hormone, you're getting excited or you're doing something on your phone. You're not giving it that chance, to create that, to give you the total opportunity to go into REM sleep. So, and that's, I think, a lot of times why we wake up tired on that end. So, don't snooze, okay? Don't snooze. So, when you set the alarm clock, and I know I've done this 1 or 2 times not so long ago, but don't hit the snooze button, okay? Get up, get yourself moving. Because again, it's one of those things that if you take an extra 10 to 15 minutes of sleep, you might not get the REM sleep that your body needs. So, just set your alarm, a tip, set your alarm maybe for 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So instead of 6 o'clock, set it for 6:15. And then get up there and that you're, getting your little extra sleep in there. Especially with the way that the darkness to the lightness will be happening here too. Just 2 more on my top, what I'm doing in this house to try to adjust to the fall changing season of colderness, or being more cold, is eating the right foods. Healthy food choice, we know, and we're all going to eat our comfort foods and the things that we think we must have, but adapting to the seasonal change, it's again, creating and eating some foods that might help create that sleep hormone, such as, I like nuts, cottage cheese, milk, cherries. Bananas are great. Pineapple, another source of iron there as well, and oranges. So it could be something, I would say, eat before you go to bed, but that you might maybe include in your dinner meal, for dessert or for something, you're making. And my last tip, I have more tips, so if you like and you want to see more, I will post a link that you can actually access a full list of additional tips of how to adjust your body to the cooler temperatures, to the seasonal change that we're getting ready, but we're starting to see. Is expose yourself to natural light. I will take my break and I'll go out, and I love standing in the sun. That vitamin D just kind of hit me for the natural source. It really shows that it helps to fight the inflammation in the body. It could boost your immune system, which we all know is healthy for our body to adapt to any change. and even potentially reduce some health risks. So get outside when you can in your day and just enjoy the natural light, natural source of vitamin D. And that's some things that I'm trying to incorporate and that I do in my household. And so other than that, I appreciate your time today for another Chat It Up Wednesday. Hope you have a great afternoon and the great rest of your week. Take care, everyone.